Okay, let's take a look at managing your website. So you're going to log into the URL that I gave you. Use the username and password. And then one of the things that you probably would want to work on immediately would be the photo gallery, because you gave me so many pictures I didn't know which ones you wanted to put in there. So what I'm going to show you here is you're going to go into the back end and you'll come over to Foo Gallery and go to Galleries. And you can see this is your photo gallery page right here. We're going to click on Church Photo Gallery, and you can either click on this name or click on Edit. And then all we have to do is, you don't have to touch anything down here, is you're going to add media. Or if you want to delete an image, it's as simple as just clicking on the X to remove it from the gallery. Or if you want to reorder things, you can just grab it and drag it in any order that you want to. And then of course after you're done you're going to hit update. But let's go ahead and add media so you see how that works. Now we need to upload a file because it's not already in our media library, so we're going to click on upload. I want to select files, and I'm going to browse to a location. Okay, we're going to browse to a location where the files are stored. And you see that I have a directory here called ASHBY with some images in it. Now the one thing I do want to point out is when you have images that are very large, I'm not sure if we have any here. You had some that were 5 and 7 megs. They're going to take quite a long time to upload. I would advise you to resize those before you actually try to upload them to your gallery. That would be the proper way to do it. However, I do have a plugin installed that will resize on upload, but it does take a longer time if you try going that route. So let's go ahead and just click on an image here. I'll choose the first one. Double click. You can see the image is being uploaded into the media library. Okay, and now that we can see the image is selected, and I could select additional images as long as they're check marked. Those are the ones I'm going to be adding to the photo gallery. So if I already have some in the media library that I want to add, I can just click on those. I've already done these, so we'll just go ahead and we'll select that one and say add media. That's all you have to do. Now you can see that image has been added. Make sure to update, and now your photo gallery's been updated. You can come over to the front and you can click on refresh in your browser. And you can see that image has been uploaded. Now obviously these are different sizes, so they're going to lay out differently in the photo gallery. You're going to have to crop the images if you want them to be all the same dimensionally. If not, it's going to lay out in this masonry grid where some will tuck under others and others will let me give you an example. Like if I were to drag this one over here, kind of stick it right there, I'll show you what would happen. We'll update the library or the photo gallery. Come back over to the front end, refresh, and you'll see a totally different layout. So this is what will happen. It'll try to fill up the space, and as you have additional images, because it's masonry, it will lay them out like bricks to fill all the different gaps proportionally. So you have the same, I'll call it grout line, but padding, spacing between the images. So that's how you take care of your photo gallery. Okay, in this lesson we're going to look at working with some pages, because you would want to change some photos around, change some text, things like that. Let's take a look at the committee page. Okay, as you can see here, we're waiting to put some photos in beside each of the different bullet points, which I didn't have those photos, so I'll show you how you'll add those. We want to first navigate to Pages, All Pages. Come down to the page you want to edit, Committees. And let me explain briefly what you're looking at here. This row with this widget here is the hero, which this is the hero right here where it says Committees. So then we'll count down from there. The next section is this text section right here, which would be this. Then we come down into the 3 categories. As you can see, this is a 2-column layout. I actually have, I believe, 70-30 split. So let me just show you on the row. So if I were to go over to this wrench to edit and click on Edit Row, you can see that I can lay out columns any dimension that I want, and as many columns as I want, and any percentage that I want, and any combination that I want. So it's really wonderful. It does the math for you automatically. So whatever you put in, it's going to figure for you, and you don't have to do any of the calculations. That's how simple that is. So we're going to go back to, this is a 2-column layout. Again, I had that 70% on this side. Automatically adjust 30% on that side. Done. Okay. This is the text area for the first section. Right here, Worship Life. Down through here. Let's take a look at that. Click on Edit. Okay, what happens is we bring up an editor where we can put in our header. This is an H1 header. You can see right here. I'll highlight over this. H1. It's aligned center. If I wanted left, I would click on left, align center. Then we have our different categories, and you can see this has been bolded. This is a bullet point. Again, these are the most basic things you should be dealing with. This is spelled wrong, obviously. That should be an I. Okay, corrected the spelling on that. And this is great because it will show you where you have mistakes. So needed an apostrophe there. So you can kind of just scan down through that quickly. And once you've made all your edits, you can click on Done. So that's how you would edit a section. Now here we're going to add an image. So we have to click on the section we want to work on, and we're going to add a widget. In this case, we're looking for site origin, not the editor, but site origin image. Editor would be for text, and you can put images in there too, but in this case we're using the image one alone. So that drops that into there, and I'm going to click on Edit. And here we decide how big is this going to be, and what's the alignment, and let's choose the media first. So just like we did with the photo gallery, it would give us the ability to either upload an image. Okay, you would select the file, browse to it wherever you have your images, or if you already have it in the media library, you can go ahead and choose an image from the media library. I don't have an image for that, so I'm going to just say grab this picture of the church, and I'm going to set the media. And let me just kind of show you how some things look if I left the size the way it is. So you have thumbnails and medium and large. If I have it checkmarked bound, make sure the image doesn't extend beyond its container. Okay. Then I say done, update, refresh my page, and you can see that it dropped in the image proportional to the 30% box that was allowed in that section, proportionally to what the image is. Okay. Now if I wanted to duplicate this, say I had all my settings perfect just the way that I wanted them, I find that this is, and I like centering it, I mean that's depending on what you're doing. Let me show you what happens if I put it on full width, and I go ahead and I click done and we'll update. Come over to here, refresh my page, and it didn't change. It didn't make a difference because again it's constrained to the dimensions of that box. So that's fine. So let's just say that's the perfect size and I want all the rest to be the same. I'm going to go ahead, and for me this is easier, I'm going to duplicate this 2 more times, and I'm going to drag this down into the next section. Just drag and drop. Okay. So you could have multiple images stacked up into that one section. So I could actually grab this, drop it into there. I'll update and I'll show you what that looks like. Come over to the front, refresh, and you'll see what it did is stacked another image directly underneath that. And again, this is based on the size of the image, so if you had an image that were cropped down or sized down smaller, you could have multiple images laid out one on top of the other within the same row. In this case we're not doing that, so I'm dragging that back down into here. I'm going to update that, and then when it's time for you to change the image out, all you would have to do is come down to this section, click on Edit, choose Media, either upload it or find it in the media library. So we would go ahead and, I mean it doesn't matter, you could choose any of them. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel out of this, and I'm not going to save this because I've already done it. So that's how you go ahead and you would edit pages. If I wanted to add another row, see, I can add rows. How many columns? Well, again, if I wanted to keep this proportional to what I've been doing, 70, or maybe on this time I want to put 70 on this side and then 30 on this side. So you can see it's proportional. So I'm going to insert my row, and again, if I want to move this down, I grab this arrow that shows up and down. So maybe I'm going to move this to the bottom of the page. And then over here I'm going to click on the section that I want to put in a widget. So I'm going to add a text widget this time. So Site Origin Editor. Click on this, and now I need to edit that section. And I'm going to go ahead and just type in, put text here. And here, and here, and more. And of course I can highlight over this, and I can center it, and I can put different headings. What you want to avoid is really avoid changing the font family. Avoid changing the font size. Don't do that. Let the CSS styles that come with the website adjust everything correctly. If you start changing font sizes and font colors and all those things, you're going to have problems. I've seen this a million times. Don't do it. Bolding, italicize, underlining, that's all wonderful. Font headings are all great. Think of a heading though like in a newspaper, how they have the main headline, then the subheadlines. You could also highlight over something. You can change the background color. I do this quite often if I want to emphasize a certain part, like, you know, click here, pay attention to this. Now if I want to have something clickable, I can insert a link. I click on this. I put in the URL. Let's put http://www.google.com. And then if I wanted to open in a new window, I can click on this and say open in a new window, because you don't want people leaving your website. So I can leave that. What if I had a page I wanted to link internally? Well, I could link options. I can find, let's say testimonials. I could click on that, add a link. That I don't want to have open in a new window. I want them still on my website. So that's pretty basic. If I decided, I made a mistake, I can remove the link by clicking on here. The link has been removed. So that's pretty simple. Again, when you're done, click done. Always update your page. Come over here, front end, refresh your page. You can see there's the text that we added. So if I click on Google, it opens in a new browser window. That works great. So, and you're probably saying, well, why, if you centered that? Well, it's centered within the 70% of the row, so you don't see this portion over here. So it's centered within this. All right, so let me delete that row. Delete the row, go to the wrench right here to edit it, come down to delete row. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Update your page. Refresh. Simple. Good. Okay, let's see about adding testimonials. Click on, now there's two things you have to do here, but I'll start you with this one first. Testimonials are on the home page and also on a testimonial page. And I kind of did it this way because the front one is going to rotate. It's going to go through the different testimonials, and then you'll click here and it will jump you to a testimonial page. So let's take a look at this. Number one, add new testimonial. And you would title what this is, and I'll just say test. And actually, don't type all capitals. That's really kind of bad. If you ever see it clicked on text like it is here, this is not for you. This is for me to work in. Just click on visual. Yeah, you don't want to. It's too hard for you to even understand what text is. So this is a testimonial. This is a testimonial. And more. So you put all this in here that you want. You can put the author. So you put the author here, or I think what I did is I just put it right on the page. Something like that. I actually probably put their name up here. Test. So I put the name of the testimonial, the person giving it. Put the testimonial in, and then I wouldn't put the by fill, but whatever. And you can do all the same things that we did before with the other pages. So I could bold things and highlight things. And then what happens is I'm going to go ahead and publish this. But before I do, to make the next step easier, is I'm going to highlight and copy this. So if you're a right clicker with your mouse, you can right click and copy. And I'll show you why. So we're going to publish this. Okay, now that you've copied the testimonial that you've typed into here, and you've already updated the page, you want to go over to Pages, All Pages. Come down to Testimonials. Click on that page. And we're going to be adding a new testimonial. So you can see what I've done is I put a new row and then a text box in each one. So we're going to add a row, one column, insert, drag that to the bottom or wherever you want it in the stacking order. Select that row, click on Widget, come down to Editor, edit that, click into the content area, and then you can right click and hit paste, say done, update this page, and then I'll go back to my front end, and since I'm already on the testimonial page, I'll refresh this and show you the changes. You can see there it is. And on the front page you will see the rotating testimonials with the additional one I've added. So just watch this area right here and it will play through. And that's it. That's how you do testimonials. Okay, so this is how you would manage your newsletter. Pages, All Pages, Newsletter, okay, this is the last newsletter I just did. So what I'm going to do, you can see that I made the height 1200 pixels, the width is 100%. So let me just show you what that looks like real quickly here. Click on the site editor. So height equals 1200 pixels, width is 100%. Just remember that. Okay. Add a row. Insert. Do you want this row to go above or below the previous newsletter? So I'm going to say I'm putting it above, so it's like, you know, chronologically it's going to be the next one in line. Add a widget to that. The site origin editor, click on that to edit it. And what we want to do here is we're going to look for the Google embed, so Google Doc embed. Click here in my content area, click on Google Doc embedder. And now it's asking me where the URL for that file is. So what I actually have to do previously to this, it would have been easier for me to do that, is I'm just going to grab the URL. Let me show you how to do that. I'm going to open another window. So now I have two windows open to the back end. I want to go to Media Library. If I'm uploading a new file, of course I would click on New. But I only have the one newsletter right now. So you would have uploaded this to the Media Library, so we need to locate where that is. And again, that would have been Add New if you're adding a new one. But I'm going to click on Newsletter. And you can see here's the URL right here. So let me do Control A, so the Control key and the A key is select all. Control C is copy. So I'm done with this. I can close this window. Go back over to this page, click on the Google Doc embedder, put in that box, Control V as in Victor, paste that in. This is the important part. On the height is 1200 pixels. The width is 100%. And if you wanted to show the download link, put it right there. Go ahead and insert this. Say done, update. Come back over to my front end, click on newsletter to show you now that I have 2 newsletters in there. And you'll see there's the first one, there's the second one. Pretty simple. Again, I'm going to delete this one out because we have 2 in there now, so delete row. I'm sure. Update. And now we're done editing the newsletter. Let's go over to the calendar. My calendar, add an event. So I'm going to be adding a new event. Again, this is all pretty self-explanatory. We're getting used to this because many of the functions are always the same. So we put in a title event, put in some text, come down here, put whatever you want in here for text, as much as you want. If you have a URL that you want to send them to, so they could just say that you're another website or somewhere where there's another function going on and you want to link to their website, you can click on that, and then as you can see it will expire after event if that's checked. So the date, when's the date? Well, you click on this and do your date picker. My birthday. So and you can set the time. You can see how you can scroll from whatever time when it starts to whatever time when it ends, or maybe it's an all-day event and you can put whatever time in here, and then you could say end date. So if you want to say there's an end date on this, again, you don't have to fill this stuff out, but you do have to have the day the event is happening and the time that it's happening, or if it's an all-day event. Is this going to be a recurring event? How many times does it repeat? Is it once every day? Days of the week, months, all the way through. And then we have other functions, additions we can add, audio descriptions, some accessibility functions that we have, and then we'll go ahead and just click on Save Event and it will appear on your calendar. So I'm going to save my event. Oh, you must have an end date on or after. Okay, so I have to have it actually after. Yeah, so April 5th, it's going to end. And also you could have location, so you could put in street address, all this stuff right here. Again, GPS coordinates. You can get very specific with what you can do, different labeling. Again, probably a lot more than what you really need. And because I clicked on this, it's making me want to put stuff in. So pretty much that's how you manage that. Thank you very much.